Hello, my name is Emily Rose, and I'm a professional Lenormand and Tarot reader. And I also teach Lenormand to tarot readers and the mystically minded. And today we are here to dig into our October forecast. Let's go ahead and get started.
Okay. So the first thing that I would like you to do is to take a deep breath with me. And go ahead and select the pile that is calling most to you. Will you select the Amethyst pile, the green Jasper pile, or the Smoky Quartz pile? Take a moment to select the pile that is calling most to you. Usually it'll be the pile that you just kind of can't get out of your head or that your eye keeps returning to. Please remember that for this reading, these are possible futures that we are exploring. If there is something that arises in this reading that you are not jiving with, there's almost always a way to change it. And that's because I am only asking the cards for information that is helpful and actionable to you. And of course, for best results, always incorporate your own judgment and intuition. You are ultimately in control of your own decisions, not a reading on YouTube. Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into your reading. If you selected the Amethyst pile, then here is your reading for the month of October. This top card is the area of your life that is coming to focus at this time, and that is the Stars card. So this is really about our hopes, what our goals are, you know, the idea of wishing upon a star. So these are things that we may want and what we are aiming for. So that's what's coming into focus for you this month. Now let's see what's going to happen surrounding that. We have the Book, the Child, and the Lilies. I love this for our Amethyst star people. What I love about this is that it's saying there's this kind of realization or this idea that your projects and what it is that you want to pursue can become easy. You're finding ways that you can pursue your goals in a way that is not so strained or like you have to push so hard to get what you want. You start learning how you can begin to approach things from a place of ease rather than a place of hardship. So what this is saying is that you may decide kind of what you want, and instead of, you know, going at it the hardest way possible, you're going to find a way to approach it from a playful perspective, from a fun and easy kind of perspective. You can have what you want, and you don't have to be a bull in a china shop to get it, right? Instead, you can approach it from a place of ease and comfort and playfulness. Have some fun with how you approach your goals this month. Now let's take a look at our helper cards for the month. This card here is which energy wants to emerge to help us let our projects, let the things that we want to pursue be easy. And what we have here is the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is asking you to acknowledge that you're going to have a range of emotions as you are working on things that you desire, right? There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. But what the King is saying is that you've already experienced this range of emotion before, and there's no reason to get so upset or knocked off balance when things don't go your way. That's what we're talking about as playful. When kids play and they get knocked off something, sure, sometimes they cry, but a lot of times they just get back up and say, just keep on going. So you can kind of take that advice as well this month. This is really a time for you to go with the flow. I have another deck where this is called the Surfer card. You just learn to ride the waves and you don't get so stressed out by them. So this is how you're going to let things be easy. You're not going to get upset or knocked off kilter by emotions or unexpected things that happen. Instead, you're going to be like the king, and you're going to sit at the center of it and ride the wave. Watch what the wave is doing. So you don't need to get swept up in it. You just need to observe it and know that you have weathered that type of wave before and you can do it again. Now let's look at the next helper card. This card is what we want to avoid, that we may be tempted to. So this is kind of our pitfall card, what we tend to step into, and this card is asking us not to this month. And we have the Eight of Swords, which makes a lot of sense. I think these are pretty opposite cards in a lot of ways. The Eight of Swords is finding every reason to kind of stay the victim in this, right? She could cut herself free, she can move on, but she's not doing it. And what this is saying is don't fall into that trap. Instead, you can unbind yourself, unblind yourself here, and you can walk away free. And this is just essentially saying don't get stuck in any kind of mental loops, any negative thought patterns. Instead, be like the King of Cups and observe this, right? See that this is happening. So this isn't about, you know, fully shaming this thought pattern. Instead, what we're doing is seeing, okay, I see I'm doing that thing again where I'm making excuses of why I can't move forward, or I'm just not seeing a solution, or I'm just getting stuck in a loop that this isn't going to work, right? Whatever your typical thought pattern is, just notice it. The King of Cups is asking you to notice it. It's asking you to notice the emotions that come up and then cut yourself free and walk away from it. So that is our Amethyst pile for the month of October. If you selected the Jasper pile, then this is your reading for the month. And what we have here is the bouquet. So this is a gift that's coming to you this month, and it wants you to see what's coming up as an opportunity, as a gift, as something that's presented to you. Okay, let's see what our gift is here for the Jasper folks. Okay, so we have the Market card, the Fox, and the Coffin. This doesn't really seem like a gift at first, right? But what I'm getting here is that this is really not the month to make a lot of career moves or strategically plan career-wise. It's just not a time to do that. This is kind of a time to just chill out and let things rest for a little bit. So if you're noticing that you're trying to make things happen work-wise this month and it's just not happening, it's saying don't worry so much about that. This is actually a gift that you're not having to kind of politic, plan, plot, scheme, whatever, when it comes to work. If you're job hunting or doing things like that, this is really probably not the time to be doing that if you can help it, if you selected the Jasper pile, the green Jasper pile. So it's a gift. It's saying you don't need to put so much thought into planning, scheming for work this month. Now let's go ahead and look to our helper cards to kind of get a little bit more understanding for this and context. So this is the energy that wants to emerge for us this month, that wants to help us. And this is the Nine of Cups. So what this is saying is be happy with where you are in this moment. Sure, you may not be exactly where you want to be right now. You may have future plans, goals, ambitions, but it's asking you to be happy with all these cups you've collected for the time being, and to just really be in the moment. Take a breath, appreciate where you are, and really this card is about being in reality, being where you are in this moment right now. And don't worry so much about you know, what you're not doing this month with planning and figuring out what's happening with work. Instead, it's saying this is a gift to really appreciate the moment now. So if you can take like a little vacation, this is a good month to do it. If you can just even, you know, just maintain the status quo, then this is also a good month for that. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the card that we want to stay away from this month. And we have the Seven of Cups. So I see the Nine of Cups being very much in reality, and the Seven of Cups not so much being in reality. So we kind of have some opposite cards here. So this is the pitfall we want to avoid this month, which is the Seven of Cups. And what I'm getting from here is don't spin out on what you don't have at this time. You know, the Fox, I think, in this are kind of aligned a little bit in the sense that you're kind of looking for the next best thing a little bit, you're strategizing, but also the Seven of Cups is not really grounded in reality. So you may have these kind of emotions and thought patterns that come up where you are thinking about the what ifs. What if I did this? What if I did that? And a lot of times the scenarios that we think about are not even remotely grounded in reality. So this is saying, don't get into a place of spinning out and being out of reality. What we want to do instead is be happy with the cups we've collected just for this month and take some time out for ourselves. Be happy about that. And that is our green Jasper pile for the month of October. And of course, last but not least, we have the Smoky Quartz pile. So let's take a look. If you selected Smoky Quartz, this is your October forecast. And this top card is the area of your life that this is concerning. And what we have is the fish. So this could be, you know, a lot of people will think of the fish as cash flow, but what I immediately got from this is flow in general. This is mojo. This is energy, abundance. I'm seeing this as kind of just the current in our life and where we tap in to get energy and to collect our mojo. So let's see what is happening this month concerning that. And we have the Woman, and I did charge this to be you. So even if you're a male watching this, this is just charged to be us. You know, if you selected the Smoky Quartz pile, this is you. The Bed and the Scythe. Okay. So what I'm getting here is that the comfort zone is just kind of gone. Our comfort zone is cut off. I feel like we may have built up a little bit of a refuge, and that is previously how we were able to kind of be in alignment and flow with ourself in the past, in the recent past. And this month that is shifting for us in kind of a sharp way. It's kind of like someone yanking the covers off you in the morning, like it's time to get out of bed. That's kind of what I'm getting from this here, is that your comfort zone is going to radically change this month, and you may get out of bed this month. And what I mean by that is, if you've kind of had these safe, comfortable patterns in your life that were more home-based or more solitary-based, things are about to shake up this month concerning that. Let's go ahead and look at our helper cards for the month of October for our Smoky Quartz folks. So this card here is the energy that kind of wants to emerge for us, or that is beginning to emerge. And we have the Seven of Wands reversed. What I'm getting here is that you may have gone into this kind of hidey hole before, kind of hermiting a bit, because the world seems a little bit scary, right? I don't know how you could not think the world is scary at this point, but especially for Smoky Quartz folks here, things felt really combative and like you had to be on guard all the time. And it kind of felt like you may have been alone against the world, and that everyone is an enemy, and that you kind of have to stand strong, and you're ready to kind of go into battle at any time. And because of this, you may have withdrawn because this is a scary place to be. But now it's time to let this go. It's time to let go this combative and defensive mindset And it's time to realize that not everything is a threat to you, and to put down the wand, put down the weapon, right? Put down the wand and see what happens, right? You can have it nearby, but it's saying, what happens if you just set this down for a little bit? Okay, now let's go ahead and look at what we need to stay away from this month. So this is a pitfall. And to me, this is a kind of similar card. We have the Nine of Wands reversed, but what I'm getting here is that you've just weathered a really intense storm and a long battle. That's what I'm getting here, a long time. And you needed to retreat, right? You needed to retreat for a while. And that was how you really could stand your ground, is by taking time out on your own. And that's how you were able to stay, you know, functional on some level, is because you kind of hung back. But what's happening now is that you may have quite a bit of resentment from the sacrifices you've had to make, all the changes you've had to make in your life, and this just weathering the storm that you've been in. And it might kind of feel like you have some resentment, and you might be a little bit argumentative or jumpy at times. And it's no wonder, right? There's been a trauma in our world, and you may have had additional personal traumas that have happened. And really, this is the time to start releasing some of that. If you see a counselor, this is a really great time to start working through that with them. Maybe do some shadow integration exercises. And it's time to put down the wands and be a little bit more open-hearted. I know that's easier said than done, but this is the month to begin that. This is really, you know, these are reversed cards, so I tend to see these as more mindset work. So you don't have to perfect this, and give yourself a lot of grace with this month. It's really time to let go of resentment and step into abundance, step into a new flow that really wants to reach you.
So there you have your October forecast. If you would like to get a reading with me or work more with me, then please feel free to head to the link down below, or emilyrosedivination.com/offerings. I also do teach Lenormand, which were these cards that you saw in the video. So if you would like to learn Lenormand, I do have a free 3-lesson mini course, and you get instant access to lesson 1. You can find that at emilyrosedivination.com/mini course. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.